All right, hello and welcome everybody to episode 94 of the GGG Podcast. I'm Paul, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Phil. We are coming right off a very hot state of play from Sony. We finally got some Wolverine footage to talk about. I'm so excited to talk about it. We got some other news as well we're going to break down. But before we get into all that, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio-only version on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow us over there as well. Super quick, Phil, before we get into all the juicy stuff, what have you been playing this week? What's one game? Give me one game.
Oh, I've been playing the game of Magic the Gathering. Fools, Spider-Man stuff came out, and I went and got all of it.
That's awesome.
Yes,
Do you
it was
have
great.
Your spider deck fully assembled?
One of three. I'm doing Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Norman Osborn, and maybe Eddie Brock Venom. We'll see.
Oh, you're definitely doing that. Come on, maybe. Get out of here.
I'm running out of cards. No, I'm not. I have plenty.
Right on. I've been playing Jump Space that came out last week, which is also in the news, so we'll talk about that a little bit. But I've been having a blast with it with friends. It's gotten a warm reception, so I've been very happy about that. But yeah, let's just get into what's going on this week. For major releases, Hades 2 officially came out this week, which I was like bewildered at seeing this. Because I was like, didn't this come out last year? I get that it was early access. But yes, it has officially come out this week. And the reviews have been posted for its official release. And it's getting 10s across the board everywhere. It's being rated as one of the best games this year to come out, which is, again, shocking to me because I played the game in early access. And I was like, this is fun, but it doesn't feel as fun as the first game did. So maybe I need to go back and revisit this one. What about you, Phil?
I definitely want to go back and play it. I played it a lot when it was first released in early access. Mm-hmm. I probably played a good 4 to 6 hours, but then I stopped myself and said, no, wait for the game to come out. Wait for all of it. So now is that time. And oh my God, it's in the middle of the busiest game season in the past couple of years. But I'm excited to get back in there. I'll be busy through the holidays playing Hades 2, Silksong, Battlefield, Ghost of Yotei, 17 other things.
So, 17 other things. Amazing.
Yeah. All Jump right. Ship. Sorry, Jump Space.
Jump Space. Gosh darn it. Yeah, we still got to get you in there. For the news this week, one of your Christmas time favorite games, Avatar: The Lost Frontier, has announced some new DLC. Phil,
cool. I forgot this game existed.
You had fun with it, from what I remember you talking about it. So
I did have a good time, and from what I hear, they made the game better. There was some issues where it was a little bit grindy. Some enemies would not die appropriately, and it seems like they kind of smoothened it out. So I'm excited for this. This seems to be tied into the next Avatar movie that's coming out. Mm-hmm. So that is exciting to see that cross promotion. Cross compatibility, that's not the right word.
So
I think cross promotion.
It's exciting to see they took the time, they launched an Avatar game, they updated it with features people wanted, and now I don't know if they're treating it like a live service, but it looks like they're trying to give it some more runway for people to play. So
yeah,
so that's good. I think that will really help game sales with the movie coming out, no doubt. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, when this one came out, it was years after Avatar 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it felt kind of weird. If they had released this version of this game with the new third film, it would have been probably a pretty big smash hit, because I'm going to say when people go to Pandora and they hang with the Na'vi in the form of a film, they get pretty horned up for Avatar stuff.
Jesus.
Otherwise, it is very forgettable and slides into the back of your mind as if it was never there. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling so horned up for this From Ashes DLC. So that's
I'm covered in blue paint from head to toe as soon as this game launches. Now, you know what I will say for Avatar in its defense?
Yeah.
You got to go to Avatar Land in Disney world, the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
That made me care about Avatar more than any movie I've ever seen.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty good.
Only in Disney World, not at Disneyland.
Not at Disneyland. They don't have the room to make flying islands there, but they do in Orlando for some reason.
Wow, that is crazy. I did not know about that. All right, well, that's exciting for the Avatar fans out there. Next up on the news list, Palworld is getting a spin-off game, and it's called Palfarm. And this is a farm, like a Stardew Valley type game, an Animal Crossing type game. The Palworld people were like, oh, hey, Nintendo's going to sue us for copying them. Let's make it worth it.
Yeah, they're like, let's go all the way in,
if they're
baby.
going to claim we're doing this, then let's actually do it.
Yeah. No, it is mind-boggling watching that trailer.
Yeah.
Like, what is this game? You're talking to pals now who are, like, working in the city that you live in. Anubis is, like, that's one that looks like Lucario, but is Egyptian. He's, like, working at a forge and, like, I'm not done yet. Come back in a week. Like, it's very strange. There's also a wedding mechanic. Like, you can get married to someone in Palfarm.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you can do that in a lot of these simulator games, or like in Stardew Valley, you can get married. So, so yeah, it makes sense. They're definitely going for that genre. They're slapping Palworld on top of it. And I will say, in that space, in that genre space, the graphics look really good. So
True.
if you're into that cutesy art style, like this, it looks like a pretty good game.
Also, hold on a second, Paul.
Yeah.
Can we go to the moment in the trailer where they're, for some reason, playing Russian roulette?
Yes. What is this? Just like
with big scary Shadow Man? What is this game?
I mean, that guy is in Palworld. He's a merchant or something that you can buy specific rare items from. You can find him in like a cave, I think, at Palworld. So like all of the stuff is from Palworld. Those are all characters from Palworld. But yes, that is weird. But with that, we still know that there are guns in the game. So
yeah, true.
Still Pokemon with guns. So yeah, this is really something that came out of left field for me. So I'm very, very curious. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but very, very curious.
Yeah.
But I also feel like with how many updates there have been for Palworld, I feel like I need to go back because last time I played it was like 5 updates ago. So yeah.
I think I'm the same thing for Hades with that one. Like I am really excited to play it when it's finished. Because I know I'm going to put a lot of time in otherwise, but
right on. All right. Well, next up on the news, we got a little trailer announcement sort of thing called OD from Kojima, your favorite weird storyteller. And people are discussing as to the possibility of whether this game is actually connected to PT, which PT was a demo. Really kind of a tech demo, to be honest, of a game that he put out, I want to say like 10 years ago. Just a demo, not the demo of a game, just a demo that came out about 10 years ago. And this, I don't know, they're kind of hinting at maybe we took the concept for PT, and this is what the game is now. Kojima loves getting specific actors that he sees in live action things, and it definitely has done that again for this. So it's a very spooky, very horrifying, very well acted trailer. So we don't know much about it other than that this is hopefully not going to end up like PT, where it's just a demo and not a real game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think this will be a real game, or is this just tech demo fancy stuff?
I think that at this point in his career, Kojima-san has money to do whatever he wants and people to throw money at him to do whatever he wants. So This is for sure coming out. We got 2 Death Stranding games, which are just like him like, okay, walking is cool. Baby is creepy. Let's go. And it does seem like he is just going with the baby is creepy mechanic again. There's several babies in this OD trailer.
Yes.
I think that there is something interesting in the fact that it is a 2-letter premise. I think it might not be actual sequel to PT, but most likely a spiritual successor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Xbox Game Studio, so it's going to be on Game Pass, so you know your boy's into it.
Yes, we will thankfully try it out via our subscription. So, yeah, I'm curious. Again, I talked about it last week on the podcast. Horror games, not really my thing. But I remember like doing like a spooky night with my friends and playing through the PT demo. So maybe that's what's going to happen again. So
that was a good time.
Yeah, we will see. All right. Last up for the normal news, my favorite game this week, Jump Space, hit 250,000 players, both that's a combination of Steam players and Xbox players, which is awesome, especially because it is not on Xbox Game Pass, which means people actually had to buy it. But I'm sure that $20 price point really helped them out. So that is something that I'm very excited about. And because they hit their goal, I think their goal was to get at least 100,000 players. Because they hit that goal, they're going to assure the completed roadmap that they put out, which includes several new ships, new weapons, new melee weapons, new sectors, mission types, new communication tools, further support, and everything like that, all through like the next 2 years. So just 2 years of updates,
that's great.
Awesome.
That's exactly what that game needs.
Yes, exactly. So I will say, playing it this week, they had made a lot of progress from the demo that I played earlier this year, and I am very pleased with how it is, especially like the mission type variety is not something I've seen in other games that are similar to it. Like the latest mission I played with a friend of mine it was a fleet support mission, which was very cool because there was like a big fleet battle that was going on, and we were trying to repair orbital cannons in this asteroid field that were helping to support the fleet battle. And so it was like a tug of war depending on how many orbital cannons you can control at once, flying around in your ship and everything. So like mission types like that, where they're thinking a little bit outside the box, then go here, collect the thing, are always welcome in my book. So
totally, that's awesome.
Yeah, been having lots of fun with that. I'm going to be playing with you as soon as you crack. So that's very, very exciting.
It'll happen.
It'll happen.
To have no willpower.
Yes. Thus that fourth Spider-Man deck. So, all right. Well, let's speed right into the main topic this week, and that is Sony's State of Play that just happened right before we started recording today. So the big ticket item is Wolverine. We're going to talk about that out on the at the end of it. But we're going to get into some of the other stuff that they announced, including one of their other big exclusives, which is Sarous, if I'm saying that right.
It's just like Sony. This podcast is going to make you wait for Wolverine. Mm-hmm. We're going to show you all the other nasty, stupid things you want. No, Sarous actually is legitimately exciting.
Yes, it is. It looks cool. Mm-hmm. It is the sequel / spiritual successor to Returnal, the launch title that came out for PlayStation 5. A game I had a lot of fun with, but there were some things that I felt like they still needed to work on. And one of the big problems that a lot of people had with Returnal was just the degree of difficulty that was in the game. This is coming from the people who have made Super Stardust, so like very arcadey, very flashy particle effects, stuff like that, and more like Twitch gameplay, which is very much of how Returnal works. But Sarous seems like they're like, okay, not everyone wants this incredibly difficult, challenging version of the game. So we're going to add a couple of mechanics to actually make it easier. Like you have a shield now, and you can like parry or block something. And you could not do that in Returnal at all. So I was very happy to see that. And it looks like it's still going to be a difficult game, but it's not going to be one that people are just going to quit because it's too difficult to even play. So
yeah,
how did it? Did you ever play Returnal, Phil?
I did. I played a good chunk of Returnal. I think I got to like the 4th world, and then I died, and I was like, well, That was fun. Never again.
Yep.
Never again. Well, I was like, one day I'll come back to it, but secretly my heart was saying, never again, Philip. We'll never touch this game.
Right.
So that was, but I really did enjoy Returnal. Like, the sort of frantic reaction, timing-based gameplay speaks to me on a deep level. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see like another version of it. Also excited, Rahul Kohli playing the protagonist. He's one of my favorite like up and coming actors. If you haven't watched Midnight Mass, go watch Midnight Mass. It's almost spooky season. It's a perfect time for it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it looks really fun, and I love Housemarque for even way back to the what was their big game on the PlayStation 3 when it launched.
I think that was 4. PlayStation 4. Yeah, that was Resogun.
Resogun.
Yes,
yeah.
I am a Resogun-aholic.
That game was great. That game was amazing. Yeah. Like, it had such a unique visual style and such responsive controls and gameplay. Seeing them go forward, they've never really forgotten those roots, and that seems to be like the core of this game is a surviving chaos and making it look really, really cool. So, very excited. And it seems like they're always just taking a step closer to AAA game, Yeah. And this one feels like a further step even from Returnal.
It really did. I feel like they're getting away from the spooky house in Returnal, where it's like, oh, it's an arcade game, but we put a story in here. This feels like a big sci-fi fantasy epic game.
Yeah.
So yeah, not that Returnal wasn't that necessarily, but it was definitely the first big game that they'd ever made. So yeah. All right, let's press right along. There was lots of stuff announced at the State of Play. We're not going to talk about every little game, but we're going to try to hit the big announcements. And one of those big announcements was that Crimson Desert finally got a release date. It's going to be coming out March 19th next year, 2026. This is a game that I think, I'm speaking for both of us, Phil, that we've had our eyes on for a long time. It looks like an epic, big RPG, and I've been waiting for this game to come out forever because I keep seeing gameplay videos. I keep hearing developers talk about it. I'm like, great, but like, when is it actually coming out? Is this game ever going to see the light of day? So the fact that we got a release date meant a lot to me. It's like, okay, thank God these big epic RPGs are not. Action RPGs are not dead.
Yeah.
So
it definitely looks like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like, in terms of like that style, I guess. That is the overlay, and then you build on top of it. It's got more fantasy. I guess it looked like Valhalla to me because you ride a wolf in part of the trailer, and I changed my horse skin to look like a giant wolf in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. But it is that sort of style of like low fantasy mixed with I guess kind of like grandiose style combat and action and characters and magic and all that stuff. So very excited for it. Very excited to see how this game pans out because everything that I've seen from like the combat looks really like unique and ingenuitive and fun. Like, you get this sort of web swing ability where you can like slap onto a boss and like swing around them as they're trying to hit you and jump off and land on them and start stabbing them. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it looks great. For me, it kind of, this game seems like what I wanted Dragon's Dogma 2 to be. But kind of wasn't. And like Dragon's Dogma is a good game, still had some fun with it, but I think just there was a lot of stuff about Dragon's Dogma that fell short for me. So it's, especially if you're not playing a very specific way. So this game seems awesome. This is what will get me through waiting for The Witcher 4. Because that's the game we really all want. Where it's like all these trailers today, they didn't hold a candle to the Witcher 4 tech demo.
Yeah, Witcher 4 tech demo that showed us so much for what it was, and also like got me just excited about games in a way that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, it looked like a new. Yeah, it looked new.
It looked like a new thing was happening. They're like, "Hey, so the whole game world's always moving." And it's like, "What are you saying?" Anywho, Crimson Desert, March 19th, 2026. So end of Q1, it looks like.
Yeah.
Do you think this one catches a delay? Possibly, because I know the initial release window was like this summer that we're just exiting. Do you think maybe it gets pushed to May? What are your chances on that?
Yeah, I think a delay is very possible. I think we do have to factor in Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposedly coming out next year. But this game, Crimson Desert and Grand Theft Auto, I feel like there's not really a lot of overlap, but everyone is so horrified of Grand Theft Auto that I feel like they're going to want to give it a wide berth anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see a possible delay, just not. I don't see it being delayed into the Christmas season or anything like the holiday season. I should say.
Okay.
So, yeah, but very cool. Next up in our announcement, Sony's got some new speakers they want you to buy.
Yeah.
So these speakers are specifically for the PlayStation, but they also can plug directly into your desktop, and they can also plug directly into your PlayStation Portal, which, I don't get that one. I don't get that. It's like if you're playing on the Portal, it's because you're not using the TV in the first place. So it's like
I like the sort of image that they gave where like this person has so many speakers that they've just put them next to their bed and they're playing PlayStation Portal on their bed. Like that is such a unique use case. But I think that is interesting. If you got them, use them. If you got the expendable income, why not? But I think as desktop / PlayStation speakers, like for me, this was the exact use case I would want them for, because I have my PlayStation on my desk right next to my computer. They share screens. And I think I have to have my computer on to play sounds through my PlayStation. So just like plugging and unplugging a little USB stick would be absolutely incredible for me.
Phil, are you the target audience right here? The target demographic?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I'm like one of the 6 people who saw this and was like, oh, maybe, yeah. And once it is revealed to be like a $300 speaker, I of course will abandon that dream.
Oh, no, it can't possibly be $300.
No, I mean, I'm guessing at least 100, which is still a bit much for me, but yeah.
I mean, they didn't put a price point for these? Let me see if I can track down the trailer.
I feel like this was a very, very preliminary,
very, very just like showing you what
trailer.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, available in 2026, but no price. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe they're like, well, we'll see what tariffs look like by that time.
Sony, if you're listening, $40. That's the magic number. You get them in everyone's house.
They ain't gonna be $40. Get out of here.
Sony doesn't know that. Sony doesn't need to know. They know. They got the money.
They know. They don't have a competitor anymore because Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is coming out in 2025.
That's very to the PS5. It really just shows the dominance that PlayStation is lording over the rest of the industry. Like, give us your old stupid planes.
Yeah, I don't know. I get it. This just seems kind of weird. Microsoft is like, every 2 months, they're like, here, have another exclusive.
Yeah.
And I guess that's cool, but I want them to just open the floodgates and just be done with it. That we have to pretend that this is an announcement. It's like, well, or I could play Microsoft Flight Simulator on my computer where you should be playing the game in the first place. So
my thing is like they've already run out of like their high-end exclusives to the point where there's like, all right, now they're digging through the bag like, Microsoft Flight Simulator, here you go.
Yay, here's another one. Yeah,
I feel like the real big win is Forza is what we're waiting for, right? Like Forza, Halo.
I mean, I don't know. You saw at this state of play, they had a little Gran Turismo showing. They showed that they sold 100 million units. I don't know why we care about that, but cool, good for them. Big sales numbers. That to me, that was just like them being like, we don't need Forza because we've sold 100 million copies of Gran Turismo. So, so yeah. But yeah, that was cool to see Flight Simulator there. They did note that there would be support for PlayStation VR 2. So if you do have a VR2 headset, that would be something that could possibly be very cool. So right on.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Can we talk about Wolverine now, Phil?
I think it's time.
I think it's time. Yeah. Okay. All right, great. Well, let's do it. I was getting nervous watching this state of play that they weren't going to talk about Wolverine. And then they finally showed it to us at the end of the state of play. So we got some hints of gameplay. Without a HUD, and then we got a full trailer. We saw Wolverine in his classic Wolverine yellow suit, as well as I'm in flannel with a cowboy hat at a bar, which was very cool. We got to see the Wolverine actor who's going to be portraying him. It sounds like he's got a great voice. They're sticking to the Australian thing from the Hugh Jackman influence.
Yeah.
But yeah, seems like he's got a great voice, and I just loved everything. This is the most brutal game I've ever seen. Insomniac.
From Insomniac?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this is a violent game. This is definitely going to be rated M. Not E for everyone, not T for teen. So what are your some initial reactions to seeing how this game looks?
So I think we can get around the idea that this is an open world game. I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think it's going to be more akin to an Uncharted / God of War.
Yes.
Maybe 2018.
Yeah.
Which is great for me. Like, I would love, some open spaces to walk around in, to find some challenges or fighting arenas, whatever. Do that would be excellent. But I don't need an open world for Wolverine. I want a really cool, relatively compact story, and I want excellent moments, excellent combat, and excellent gruesomeness.
Yeah. And I think you're going to get it.
Yeah, we see in the trailer, Wolverine is no slouch when it comes to cutting off people's arms. In one moment, he cuts off someone's leg and then runs up to someone else and jams his knife hands, his claws.
His knife hands.
His knife hands. Right through someone's skull, and you see them pop out the top, and the person just goes limp. There's blood all over him. Looks very, very good in all that respect. What did you think about this, Paul? Any initial thoughts?
Similarly with the open world thing, I think it definitely seemed like exactly what you said. Uncharted or God of War. Maybe it's more closer to God of War, because Uncharted really only had one open area to explore in the game, in Lost Legacy and in Uncharted 4. So I think maybe God of War 2018 would be a good comparison here. It definitely seems like there's a point in the game where you're going to be in this city necessarily, and you can explore some of that city, but ultimately you are moving through linear missions and stuff like that, which I think is perfect. I think that's exactly what you need. With a Spider-Man game, so much of what we were even talking about last week, where you play Spider-Man periodically just to swing around, you do that because that gameplay loop, and for Spider-Man, it makes sense that it's an open world New York City game, whereas Wolverine as a character doesn't. It's not like he's a mobility character. That's not who he is. It's more of a hack and slash, a little bit more personal, more God of War-y. So I think that makes sense. We didn't necessarily get a confirmation on that's what it would be. It just kind of really looked that way.
There's moments where he's on a motorcycle, jumping onto a moving car, a truck or whatever, and that screams very scripted action sequence that will be pre-described, but also very fun to watch and play.
Yeah, absolutely. And something we talked about last week when we were talking about the Wolverine rumors is whether there would be some other characters from the X-Men there. So we did get a confirmation that Mystique is in the game, which is pretty cool. And then
additionally, it was Omega Red is the other character.
I'm not familiar with Omega Red. Who is Omega Red?
Omega Red you've probably seen in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. He's a big buff dude. He's got very white skin, almost like Mr. Sinister. He was one of the Weapon X people. He's got these weird long, I think they're adamantium, but they're metal ropes that come out of his hands, and he can wrap them around people and shock them and do all that type of stuff.
Okay.
But being tied to the Weapon X program does give some credence to the possibility that we will get some version of Deadpool, some allusion to Deadpool in this game, which is interesting. And I think like Wolverine and Deadpool are very closely tied into to each other. Mm-hmm. This does kind of feel like the first Spider-Man game where you kind of get introduced to Miles. If Deadpool was like if the next game is Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine, that would also make a lot of sense. So I feel like we'll get at least some hints in that direction, because it does seem like the Weapon X program and some mutant Mishigosh will be a part of the story. I mean, especially if Mystique is there.
Yeah.
They said in the trailer there's some other characters that are hinted at, but I didn't catch those hints. I'll probably have to do a little bit of a deeper dive to find those.
Yeah, I think they'll probably stick with like fringe characters. You're probably looking at like a Sabretooth main villain, something like that. And maybe it's the kind of thing where like Magneto is like teased in the sense like when you were playing Jedi Fallen Order, it's like, well, Darth Vader's at the very end of the game. you know that kind of a thing. So yeah, but I was just happy to see some other X-Men there. And just looking at some context clues from the dev doc that they showed, or when they were talking about the details of the game, is like they were talking about how Wolverine he's not a perfect narrator because there's so many gaps in his memory, and it kind of clued me in as well as your comments with the Weapon X stuff, where it's like, oh, okay, so it's not an origin story, but maybe it's about Wolverine learning about his origin, kind of a thing, and dealing with it, later on. Because with the Wolverine costume, we can only surmise that he's been Wolverine for a hot minute if he has that costume. I doubt this is going to be a story about Wolverine being like, oh, I need to make a big yellow suit. This is my journey on how I do that.
Well, it seems like he's going to be in Madripoor, which is one of the main settings for the game. Yeah. It is. We visit that in the Marvel Universe a little bit here and there. It is a city that is kind of more in the underbelly of the Marvel Universe. But that is where a lot of like Wolverine's origins and his different ties all kind of come together. So that is an exciting place for that to be. But also, I could see this having levels where you are in Wolverine's past, like playing in the 70s, doing this, doing that. And then some in the modern time, some possibly even in the future. But what I really enjoy is that Wolverine is rightfully so a short king. You see him walking up to the door of the bar in Madripoor, and he is teeny tiny little manlet. Very excited about that.
Yes, he's not as big and buff and whatnot. So yeah, that's cool. Something I've been wondering is, obviously they showed a lot of like takedowns, melee combat, everything like that. What do you think the gameplay is going to be when you're not beating the crap out of people? Because like in a Batman game, you have all the detective stuff. In a Spider-Man game, you have, saving civilians, the friendly neighborhood stuff. In Wolverine, do you think he's a private eye and he's using his nose to like snuff out things like that? Or what do you think?
I honestly think it'll be past and future. Okay. Like you'll be going through, past and present. You're going through his like memories and finding out things that he did, and maybe like I'm thinking of a mission maybe where you play as Wolverine, finding like a samurai sword that he used to use that gives you some extra combat stuff. Oh. I'm assuming the suits and there will be lots of different like upgrade paths because Insomniac likes to do that.
They do.
But I think it'll be some probably a little bit of exploration. To find lots of different X-Men and specifically Wolverine-related Easter eggs. So,
right on. Okay, yeah. That makes a lot of sense to me because I'm not trying to speak poorly of Wolverine as a character, but I'm just trying to think of him very three-dimensionally as not just what they showed us in the trailer. So but. Yeah, I think this game is going to be great. I love that it's going to be coming out next year. I love that Insomniac is committing to the gore, because like if you're going to do a Wolverine game, his power is he has knives that come out of his fists. That's his power. So you can't really get around
his skin can slough off and regrow. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Maybe that's something we should talk about, Phil. How do you think? How do you do like a life bar mechanic where like your character heals constantly? Like, is that something where we see the return of the health bar is gone and it's just like you get that faded red and then he regenerates slowly, or what do you think?
So there was a Wolverine Origins video game. It was a movie game based off the film. And I think that had my favorite way of doing it, where you would see just Wolverine's like skin start to fall off and it just skeleton. And once you reach a certain level of having your skeleton out, like the screen would get red, but you would get knocked out and have to restart the level. I think something like that, because healing is such a core part of who Wolverine is, that taking that out of the game would feel weird. You know?
Yes, definitely has to be there. Yeah,
definitely has to be there, or like replacing it with a health bar, where something like I think some visual like representation of he is super messed up and he will grow it back over time. Now I do think they could do like he's missing his healing factor story and you're slowly getting it back to get faster and faster or whatever. But yeah, I think that if they want to do it the best way, the most elegant solution is also the nastiest, where it's just bits of him hanging off and then it's quickly regrowing. So
yeah, I mean, like we said, it's probably going to be rated. It's got to be rated M, so they could do that. M. Yeah, right on.
He's going to go full frontal in this game. It's just his clothes getting ripped off. That's his health bar. Do it, Insomniac, you cowards.
He just gets more naked.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we've talked a little bit about Deadpool. We know the Mystique is going to be in the game. Is there another X-Men ally that you'd like to see in the game, more in line with like the traditional, like, Xavier crew of like Cyclops and Jean or something like that? Or is there a character gameplay wise because like gameplay wise, I'm thinking like Blade would fit in nicely into a Wolverine game, Yeah. Is there another character like that you could see being in the game, or you have like a little team up section or something like that?
Jean Grey would be really cool. Probably not that likely though, because considering she's really closely tied to the school. But you could even have like her and Cyclops at different times finding Logan and trying to like convince him to rejoin the X-Men. Like you have to do either fight against them in a non-lethal way, or they help you out in some combat scenario. Would be pretty cool. Nightcrawler would be a pretty cool character to find and to like see the combat antics of.
Yeah.
And even maybe a little bit that you could play as him or something. Like Insomniac loves to load their games with extra stuff. So, yeah, those are my main three. Like Jean Grey, Cyclops, Nightcrawler would all be very Morph if you want to go the 90s show route.
Sure.
Morph is a very, very cool character. What about you, Paul? Is there anyone else that you're like? Colossus. I gotta say Colossus to do the fastball special where he picks up Wolverine and chucks him at people.
Absolutely, Colossus.
Yeah.
Also the Hulk. But well, we're not getting that. Yeah, I mean, I would love there to be a little homage to the first X-Men movie, where he meets Rogue. I think that would be really cool. And or if like the Weapon X program is making a comeback and there are like some of the younger mutants that are being experimented on, and so like that's what's kind of driving the story. As far as the environments, I think the environments look ripe to have like Gambit somewhere. I don't, and I know that the hype with Channing Tatum playing Gambit in the Wolverine and Deadpool movie like, there's maybe a Gambit movie in the works, or maybe he's going to be worked in somehow. Like, I could see him like in the underbelly, playing cards in a bar or something like that. He seems like Gambit seems like he would hang out in similar places that Wolverine would hang out in. And I know that he was in the X-Men Origins movie. It's very, very poorly done, but I know that he was there. So I'd love to see one of those characters or both of those characters there. I think that would be fantastic. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But I'm sure whatever they do, Insomniac, they're great storytellers. So I'm just excited to see them tell a Marvel story, and I'm really excited that they are building a good gaming Marvel universe that started with Spider-Man, and that hopefully that this is connected to in some way. So I'm really hopeful for that. I'm so grateful for this era of superhero video games that they are not reliant on a movie release to come out, and they're trying to redo the movie story in the game story, which almost never makes any sense. And I also think that the younger generation of gamers, they don't even remember that stuff. And that's something we had to deal with growing up, where it's like the only superhero games were connected to some superhero movie that was coming out, and it was this really crappy story, and the game would usually not be very good because it was built in the same time frame that the movie was being worked on, and traditionally for video games you need longer than that. So yeah, so I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful that the trailer came out. It looks really good. I'm excited to play it. This might be a game where I'm like, PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah,
I don't know. And Sarous, I think, would also be a great PS5 Pro game as well. So,
yeah, things that just can make that thing look like it's actually humming along and doing what your PlayStation 5 regular can't.
Yes.
Which, if my PlayStation 5 can't do those things, I am going to be upset.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll just be like 30 frames a second, which people hate nowadays. So
that's fine.
All right. Any other Wolverine comments before we wrap up this very quick episode, Phil?
No, next year I'm ready. Hopefully now Insomniac can clear the way to tell us about that Venom game. That's all.
Yeah, I think if we had to wait this long for Wolverine, we're probably going to be waiting a bit long for Venom. So,
yeah.
You know what? That might be a fun crossover. Honestly.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
To get some symbiote stuff. You were talking about this last week, I believe, with Wolverine. Like, that could be the link that connects those two universes. And makes them one universe. I think that would be great.
Well, Cletus Cassidy escapes in Spider-Man 2 to come back in some future game. He escapes with a bit of symbiote. It would be cool if you went to Madripoor and you had to fight Wolverine, because those two would make a pretty equal and pretty gory fight.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
That's a tie-in character right there.
Although we did see a lot of cyborgs in the trailer, like you're fighting a lot of cyborgs. Is there any idea why there's cyborgs there? Do you think it's AIM or anything like that, or maybe something else?
I would assume it's Trask, who is the character that makes the Sentinels. Yeah. So they're probably experimenting with human cyborg crossovers.
Dude, we didn't even talk about the Sentinels that were in the trailer, dude. Oh, my God.
We only got a very little glint of a Sentinel, which is was cool to see. But you know what? Actually, if it is Trask, I think that does allude to why Mystique is involved. In those films, she's always kind of like one of the people who's trying to take down Trask and trying to liberate mutants from the Sentinel problem. And I think that in this game we see that Sentinels were probably like done and not so popular because Wolverine happens upon one that is like crashed and it's half alive. So much like X-Men 97, it seems like human Sentinel crossover might be kind of the element they're trying to go here.
Okay. So, yeah. Super curious about that. Seems like it's going to make for some badass God of War boss
moments.
Fights. Yeah, totally. All right. Well, with that, we are going to wrap up episode 94 of the GGG Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio-only version on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, follow us over there as well. Got some more subscribers this month. We appreciate you out there. And if there's anything specific that you want us to talk about in the gaming world or gaming industry, please let us know. All right, Phil, great episode. I'm so happy we got Wolverine. I was worried it wasn't going to happen, and then it happened. Hell of a way to end September. So
we did it.
We did it.
We finally did it.
No one else. All right, peace out, everybody.